Imposter scams continue to be a problem, and we've seen a fair amount of complaints this month with the utility scams, the Social Security Administration scams, and the Medicare imposter scams. Utility scams, we've got about 51 complaints, and Social Security imposter scams, we're looking at about 50, and the Medicare imposter scams are about 22. So what these scams are, utility scams are typically when you have someone's calling you about your utility bill and threatening to disconnect your utilities, and if you don't pay your bill immediately. Well, of course, that's not what the government is going to do. That's not what the utility company is going to do, and you shouldn't react to that. You should hang up the phone immediately if someone is making those types of threats. Utility companies are going to contact you by mail if you have an overdue account. And they may also call you about your services being, they may call you about your services being at risk for being terminated, but they will never demand an immediate payment for those services, and they will never ask for that payment in the form of gift cards or Bitcoin or anything like that. So if you're getting threats of it being terminated immediately, an immediate payment, you should hang up and call your utility company if you have actual concerns. Another really popular scam that we're seeing a lot of complaints about are the Social Security Administrator scams. Unfortunately, we've seen an uptick of those in the last month. These scam artists are calling, they're threatening that your Social Security number is going to get canceled and that you need to provide them personal information in order to help you. They will ask you if you want your benefits increased. These scams are not exactly how this is not how the Social Security Administration is going to contact you, and they're not going to deactivate or suspend your Social Security number. Real Social Security employees won't threaten you to get your personal information, and they also won't promise to increase your benefits in exchange for information. So scammers often will also often spoof the 1-800 numbers. So it's important for you to hang up the phone if you have a concern and call back the Social Security Administration at their number to confirm any concerns you might have. And the Social Security Administration's number is 1-800-772-1213. And it's important that you recognize that these numbers can be spoofed. And so sometimes you think it's actually a legitimate call, and because you do have caller ID and you are trying to protect yourself that way. So the other telltale signs are these threats of immediate payment and deactivation of your Social Security number. That's why having the Social Security Administration's number available and calling to confirm is the better way to address that. Another concern that DATCP has are the Medicare imposter scams, and these obviously will target seniors and who can sometimes be more vulnerable to scam artists. You need to watch for seniors and their families as well. Need to watch for calls from fake Medicare representatives who are pitching free medical services and devices. These calls may offer free products in exchange for personal or financial information. Again, you should never provide that information over the phone. And they may make threats about your Medicare benefits. So when this happens, the government does not call and make threats about your Medicare benefits. They also don't sell anything called Medicare Advantage or Medicare plans. Those are private companies. And there are no Medicare sales reps that will come door to door. So you should report these to the authority. If you do get a phone call like that, or you do get someone coming door to door to sell these plans and representing themselves as a government employee, you should make a report. And the report, you can report that to the federal government via a 1-800 number, which is very easy to remember. It's 1-800-MEDICARE. You can also report those complaints to DATCP, and we can get them to the proper authorities. Other potential scams to watch for around Medicare benefits is threats that you may lose your Medicare benefits unless you have a prescription drug coverage plan. As you probably know, prescription drug benefits are completely voluntary. In addition, an insurance agent can claims that you lose your Medicare benefits unless you switch plans. You can shop your options, but you're not required to switch plans. So when you get these kind of complaints, you need to be concerned, and you can call, as I say, the 1-800 number Medicare, or you can file a complaint with the state of Wisconsin, and we can look into, particularly if they're door-to-door salesmen, and direct calls to your phone line. We can look into both of those and see what we can do to help you. They're called imposter scams because they are pretending to be someone else. They're an imposter, and typically that. The entity that they're pretending to be is an entity that has authority over you, like the government. So you see it in Social Security, you see it in Medicare, you see it in immigration status, and then oftentimes you see it in the utility situation or as the IRS. In all of those instances, they are purporting to be someone who has authority over you and can affect you financially and personally. And that's why they're effective, because people care deeply about their Social Security benefits, they care about their Medicare benefits, they care about their tax refunds, and that's why those lines of income are being targeted. But one needs to recognize in all of those imposter scams that the government is not going to call you and threaten you. They're going to reach out to you civilly through a letter first, and they're certainly never going to ask for immediate payment, and they're never going to ask for payment in the form of a gift card or a Bitcoin. The government has ways in which they contact you that it typically originates with a letter, and it may be followed up with a phone call. But anytime you get a phone call that you think is too threatening or compromising, hang up and get the legitimate phone number and call back. And then find out for yourself whether or not the Social Security Administration is trying to contact you, whether the IRS is trying to contact you, and then you can determine for yourself whether or not these are legitimate requests of your information.